Today, the Ascendant is back. We're going to be doing a freestyle rant today. So if anyone has any questions, we could talk about Jesus Christ. We could talk about the resurrection. We could talk about how to be masculine. Whatever subject you want to talk about, we're going to talk about it since we're going to be freestyling today. It's going to be a freestyle rant. So buckle up. All right. And there, Ascendant dang there spilled his water. But anyway, let's check first what's on Twitter, and then we can talk about some stuff. Let's talk about some stuff. And also, if you guys have any other questions, or if you guys have any questions about the previous live, let me know. Actually, thanks for bringing it up. Hold on. Let me get my notebook real quick. I'm going to explain to you guys what we were talking about, but I have to get my notebook first. So I'll tell you what we were talking about yesterday on live. So we're talking about these two topics right here. And I always have a notebook full of notes. So I always have a notebook full of notes. All right. We were talking about why most people fail at money without even knowing why. We were getting into the depths of why. I'll give you two reasons and two answers. The first reason is actually because school doesn't teach finances enough. So you can't really blame people if they don't budget. They don't really learn it long enough for it to be ingrained and reinforced in their psyche, in their sub-psyche. Number two, the reason why most people fail at money is because they don't budget. They just think they can spend their money. And then by the end of the month, they don't even know where that money is even going. Number two, second topic we were talking about, the invisible power of presence and why people listen without knowing why. Having presence is subconscious. You can feel someone's energy without them having to say anything. You can just feel that person's energy. He has presence. That's what you need to master. You don't have to be loud. You just need presence. That is all. Now, let's go on Twitter real quick. See some topics I can talk about. We're going to go on X real quick. And like I said, if you guys have any questions, let me know. Any questions? I'm on Twitter right now, though, so we're going to see what I'm going to be talking about, guys. So, yeah, guys, I mean, it is a wonderful Sunday, I would say. And yeah. Okay, interesting. We have a topic. I'm gonna actually get my input on this. Apparently, yo, what's good, Edwin? What's good, Ronaldo? What's good, Kahaba? All right. Apparently, Jania Michelle declares she'll never depend on a man again because she's saying that every breakup sends her back to the 9-to-5 grind and life with rich men like NBA player DeJounte Murray ain't what y'all think it is. Says he's a quiet person who didn't want her to party or let her have fun. Now, first, let me actually make this clear. There's nothing wrong with working a 9-to-5. However, you have to be very cautious of working a 9-to-5 if you have a lot of kids or thinking about how you're going to make this money. This is why you got to make sure you focus on yourself, make sure you have your finances straight. Then if you want to bring kids onto the world, then you can do that. Now, to her saying that her boyfriend, which is an NBA player, didn't want her to party or have fun. Now, see, most women think that this is controlling. This isn't controlling if a man tells you to not do this. It depends what you're trying to do. Because some of y'all women know what y'all are trying to do. If you are trying to shake ass and he is basically telling you to not do that, then don't think he's restricting you. He's not restricting you. It's called boundaries. Would you want your man going to a pool party full of women touching all over his abs? Would you want that? No, you wouldn't want that. So then what makes you think a man would want a woman or you to go to the club, go to a party and have fun? No. Now, I'm not saying you can't have fun, you can't have girls' nights out, but it depends what you're doing. Ah.
You're making a scene.
But yeah, guys. Yeah, if you have any questions, yeah, let me know. But yeah, I mean, if I'm talking about a subject, let's first. What can we talk about, guys? What can we talk about? Okay, I know. Actually, no, I actually do know something that we could talk about. We could talk about the government shutdown, which is fine. Now, apparently, the government shutdown is apparently people are going to be able to get their EBT back, which is that a good thing? Absolutely. However, to rely on EBT anymore is it does not make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. Now, I don't know if y'all saw that one clip, but if y'all did see the one clip, you'll see that woman saying she needs her EBT now. This is bad. This is actually bad. The problem is when you actually depend on EBT, the problem is when you depend on EBT, you start to get lazy and you start to get complacent and you don't find out other ways to actually get money. And you want to know the crazy thing is she had 9 children, not 1, not 2, not 4, not 6, but 9 children. This is not a joke. This is why you have to delay gratification. When you delay gratification, when you can wait, that is what makes your life better. Now, obviously, in the short term, you might think, oh, no, you're suffering. If you can delay gratification when it comes to having kids or anything in life that is worth living for, then, bro, you're going to be good. You may think you're suffering short term, but you ain't suffering, bro. I'm telling you, you're not suffering. Because when you get that long-term success and growth, it's going to be worth it. I'm telling you, here it's very hard for people to break even. That's what I'm saying. It is like money is tough, bro, for most people. Yeah, you don't like when they have kids while needing assistance. Tyrone, is this you? Wow, look, 6 viewers. 3 days ago, you had like me and someone else. I know, man. Just shout out to me. And what's good? Peter Ellis, 7766. Tyrone, is this you? Maybe. But anyway, guys, yeah, it's crazy. Like her having 9 children, like you got to actually think about it, chat. It's not just her. She's on EBT herself. And now she has 9 other kids to feed. The problem with this dependency is that she's not going to try to work. She's not going to try to do anything. She's just going to keep on calling and be like, where's the EBT? Where's the EBT? Where is the EBT? If this did not teach people to not rely on EBT or government assistance, I don't know what will. This is the longest one in history. Now, if y'all didn't know, because I didn't know this at first until I did my research, back in 2019, that one was long as well. Now we have another one in 2025, and this one is the longest one in history by far. This is insane. A lot of the community needs them because they're disabled or veterans, but other people rely on it. Right. And I'm not talking about the people who are disabled or who are veterans or the people who genuinely need it. I understand if you genuinely need it. However, even if you genuinely need it, I'm not saying obviously like if you're old and stuff, but if you are able to find a way to make more money, I would recommend that. Now, to the people who are finessing the system, that is absolutely wrong. For the people who are finessing the system, it just sounds easier for people to rely on assistance, right? Because it doesn't take any work. That's why people rely on it so much. It doesn't take any work. It's like a reward for the less you work. Exactly. Which is why people are so dependent on it. Because you don't have to work for it. I guarantee less people will be on EBT if you had to work for it. That's the problem. Also, tying this to Christianity, right? So I saw another woman, and there's another clip, and she's saying, well, she doesn't want to steal. She doesn't want to steal from the market, but God has her, so she doesn't have to put in any work. God's just gonna miraculously bring food to her. Didn't Trump change it? If I'm not mistaken, I do think that Trump changed it. However, the point is, regardless if the EBT benefits come back or not, you still need to prepare. He made it so you had to work 20 hours a week to get them, but it doesn't apply if you have kids under 14. That is true. That is true. However, my point is, regardless if the benefits come back or not, which it does seem like they're coming back, why rely on it any longer? What's the point if it could just shut down at any given time and moment? What is the point of relying on them? If it could shut down at any time, what's the point? There is no point. What's your thoughts on the Sudan civil war? Now, me personally, you might have to tell me about it because I don't want to comment on it because I don't know what the Sudan civil war is. I know what a civil war is. I don't know what the Sudan civil war is, but yeah. People do it because it's easy. Exactly. This is the problem because people do it because it's so easy. But look, since it's so easy for it to get taken away. Hopefully they learn from this to be more prepared, bro. I'm telling you, most people are not going to learn from it. As soon as most people get their benefits back, they're just going to go back to doing the regular stuff. Again, they're going to go back. Did you see the Nepal protest like a month or two ago? No, I actually didn't. You're going to have to inform me on that. The Nepal protest. No, I did not see that. Hold on, guys, real quick. Do your research on the Sudan civil war. All right, man. You get people with kids, but your country has an obesity problem anyways, so it wouldn't hurt for able-bodied adults to eat less. Well, that's true. It's hard to explain. I got you, man. I'll definitely do my research on it, Dominic. And then going back to Sausage's claim, yeah, I mean, yeah, people can start eating less. However, I would say you can either start eating less or you're just gonna have to make more money. You cannot rely on EBT or benefits any longer. The Trump administration doesn't care. Biden administration doesn't care, even though Biden's not in presidency anymore. No one is coming to pick your ass up and just randomly have food or supply food to you. Nobody is obligated to do that for you. So you have to do it yourself, especially as an adult. And see, the problem is, right? Parents don't really tell their kids this either because it's harsh, right? They're like, when you're 18, nobody's gonna care. If I'm in a class and I'm teaching 14 and 15-year-olds the harsh realities of the earth, I'm not sugarcoating anything with them. They could be 8 and I'll tell them, look, nobody is going to care about you eventually. Did you like any of the presidents in the election last year? That's a good question, man. I mean, I would say I'm pretty neutral about it. I wouldn't say I like them as far as, yes, like I'm glad he's doing this. But then I would say it's not like I dislike him or I hate him either. It's like I'm kind of neutral about it, right? Like, so for me, when it comes to presidents like Donald Trump, for example, I'm not gonna say I like him. I'm not gonna say I dislike him. It's like regardless if I like him or not, it's not gonna change the fact that he's in presidency right now. The problem is most people react and they get emotional, which I can see why, because of ICE raids and stuff. I can see exactly why. But them doing that is not going to change the fact that Donald Trump can get way more ICE people to raid even more people. So it's like, schools should teach more trades and skills. Exactly. Schools should teach more trades and skills, but they don't. And they should teach about finances too. You know what I'm saying? Like they should teach about this stuff as well. Schools should get rid of what? Pi? Oh, you must be talking about math. Are you cool with legal migrants, or do you believe it's a threat to national security? I mean, legal migrants, I don't think it's a national security threat, but I would say the immigrants are not allowed to be here. I mean, if they get deported, we really shouldn't get mad because they're not even supposed to be here in the first place. Now, the ones who have their Visa cards and their green cards, et cetera, then as long as it's approved, then there's nothing wrong. So, yeah. So they could come here pretending to be a doctor and they're actually a bad person. Well, exactly. So if people can pretend to be a doctor and they're actually a bad person, well, that's a bad thing. So that's why them deporting people who are not supposed to be here isn't necessarily bad. Now, what I'm saying is, for the people who are getting deported and they're actually able to be in the US, that's bad. That's bad. That shouldn't be happening. I'm not saying that should be happening. But yeah, I'm not. Yeah. So what, lame boy? It's a live stream. We want to sit here and stare. It's cool, bro. Just go ahead and let lame boy do his thing. You feel me? I don't even know why you doing that. I ain't gonna lie to y'all boys. I ain't gonna cap. Like, if they have kids here, what happens? Well, I mean, this is another point too, right? If they have kids, I'll tell you exactly what happened if they do have kids. If they have kids, regardless if they're a actual legal immigrant or not, the problem is their kids could get deported also, or maybe only their kids get deported, which is a problem. Only if you are legally able to be here. If you're not legally able to be here, that's not really a problem because they're doing their job. However, they are getting people. What's crazy is that they are getting people who are actually supposed to be here. So it's like, how you know so much about the world, bro? I'm just smart like that. You gotta pay attention, bro. And you want to know what's crazy, lame boy? They don't even be teaching this stuff in school either. I ain't gonna lie. They don't even teach this stuff in school. Stuff is crazy. They teach about everything else than what's actually going on. You feel me? So it's like, isn't it documented? How is there confusion? Yes, and it's been documented as well. Now, this is the thing. I don't even study politics. I'll say the main politics I really watch is gang politics. That's the main one. I don't really get too much into like 9/11 and stuff like that. Like, that's more of Myron. You know what I'm saying? But yeah. Or someone can move in and have kids and then get deported because they could have had a British passport or something, and the kids are technically American. Well, yeah, that's the thing. You want to know what? You know what the problem is that even when these ICE people get these kids, they still have to go through the process. So even if they don't get deported, the process can be a punishment as well. It's like they have to go through all this, they have to go through all these court hearings and all this court stuff just for them at the end to be free. And who knows how long the court hearings will even be. Who pays for the deportation? Are we paying for that? That's a good question. I actually do not know. I think I need to do more and more research on politics as well. I only be on gang politics, to be honest with y'all, but can we get a free Palestine and free Sudan? I'm not even gonna lie. I've heard a little bit about Palestine and Israel. Apparently, I forgot which one. I think they're saying what the Israelites are the ones doing stuff, so they should sue the countries for the cost of transport. This has been around for 30 years, only helping now. Man, it's unfortunate. I'm not gonna lie. Saying some words, free Palestine won't do anything. And see, this is what I'm saying. You actually make a good point. Go Joe. You actually make a very, very good point. Because I remember, I forgot why people were protesting back in February. I low-key forgot. But yeah, I forgot why people were commenting, man. Gosh, so many comments. What's good, Venom? But yeah, Gojo, you make a very good point because people will protest, right? And it's because of ICE, right? People will protest, but then they're always saying, F ICE, F ICE, F ICE, F ICE, F ICE. The problem is most people who are saying F ICE don't have any influence or power. So since they don't have any influence or power, it doesn't do anything. So just saying the words isn't going to do anything. Unlike Trump, who can just make something happen today, instantly. He can make something happen. You know what I'm saying? So if you don't have power or influence, then doing all this, even if it's a good cause, which I can see why they're doing it, I'm not mad. I'm not saying don't do it, but it's not going to change anything. You have to have power. When you have power, then you can change something. Yeah, what's good, Venom? What's good? Instead of protesting, they should help the people get documented legally. Exactly. The main thing is to have action. Action, you need to be getting stuff done. You need to be getting stuff done. To rely on the president to make your life any better is not a way that you should be living on this planet. It's like being in the UK and shouting free Palestine. They can't even hear you. That's true. They can't hear you at all. And they don't care. By the way, also, most people do not care about how you feel. They don't care. They don't care. They try to sell you this dream, though. They try to sell you like people actually care about your life. If people have their own problems, why would they care about yours? You're telling me that random people who don't even know you are willing to carry your problems along with theirs? You got to be out your dang mind. Because we get mad when everyone changed their profile picture on Insta to the Ukraine flag, like, bro, they're lying, the profile picture and hashtag isn't saving them. And you're right, sausage. The profile picture isn't saving anything. Unless you have power and influence and people listen to you, that's when things can shift and change. The reason why Donald Trump doesn't care about the people who are protesting is because they don't have more influence than them. They don't. If Donald Trump knew that all these people had more influence than him, then he would be like, oh, snap. But he doesn't care. So we can sit in the White House and be like, y'all keep on wasting y'all time. He doesn't care because y'all don't have more influence than him. If we're talking about people who have influence, think about Elon Musk. Think about people like that who actually have influence. You need to be someone with like a huge role, like a big president or government. Exactly. And you don't even have to be the biggest president either. You just need to get in circles with them. The question is, how do you get in circles with them? Well, that's where you have to work on yourself. Unless these protesters get violent. Okay, that's true. If the protesters get violent, then yes, Donald Trump will incorporate something. What's going to help with waving around some little flags in different countries? And you're right, that it's not going to help. I'm going to be honest, because they don't have power or influence. You have to have power or influence for people to, one, even listen to what you have to say. If you don't have any attention, if you don't know how to speak, if you don't know how to actually hold attention, nobody's going to care what the heck you're talking about. Nobody's going to care. You have to learn how to speak. You have to learn how to do these things. It's very important. You're just going to have to take a risk in life if you want to be associated with those people, or if you want to have power. You're going to have to take risks. If you're not willing to take risks, and if you're willing to play it safe, you will never get to the top. Everyone that you see at the top now took a risk. You have to bet on yourself in life. Bet on yourself, bro. I'm telling you, that's the best thing you can do. Bet on yourself. It's crazy, man. But yeah, you just have to take a bet on yourself. And like I said, Donald Trump doesn't care. He's already rich. His family's already doing good. And what I've realized is, especially with this government shutdown, in times of crisis, you really get to see how people act. You really get to see if people are prepared or if it exposes their lack of preparation. That's what in times of crisis shows. Times of crisis shows, let me say it one more time. When bad things happen, it shows the people who are prepared and it shows the people who lacked preparedness. Do you think people should be upset about taxes or the people who need assistance, who's using the funding? Now, in my opinion, I don't think people should be upset about taxes of the people who need assistance, because that's not going to change anything. You can be upset all you want. That's not going to do nothing. Like, yes, shouting and waving flags don't work in a pal, and they did one huge fire and parliament, and boom, instantly they listened. But you could even do it differently without fires and all that. That is true, because some people are saying they don't want their taxes paying for lazy people, but taxes also cover police and schools, etc. Well, I'm not going to lie, right? Many people wish there were no taxes, but we have to accept that there's always going to be taxes. Taxes isn't going anywhere. Inflation is going to keep on increasing. Inflation is making everything cost more. So instead of trying to erase taxes or wishing that taxes never existed, how about you try to ascend with it? You have to try to make more money. That's what you have to do. You have to. Or cut down some expenses, do something. You think the biggest is Social Security and Medicare? That's actually true. That's actually true. Social Security, according to this, is actually money proof, meaning people can still get their Social Security paychecks. Like even if the government shutdown is going on. Taxes were even there in Jesus's time. They were paying them to Caesar in Rome. Okay. Okay. Nah, that's actually good. Taxes were even there in Jesus' time. I don't know how taxes work in Jesus' time, though. I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think they used to have taxes in coins, or I think they used to, I don't know what they used to do. I kind of forgot, but yeah. Yeah, I know. I didn't even know that. Venom be knowing a lot, man. So, what would you suggest for a person seeing prices go up and threat of assistance being faulty? Okay, if I was to talk to someone who lacked preparation of the assistance because it's faulty and prices going up, I would say, well, you have to first assess how much money you have. Two, when times are good, you need to prepare. So, for example, if you know that previously there's been previous government shutdowns, then 9 times out of 10 it'll probably happen again in the future. We don't know when. That's the scary part. You're not going to know. So, in times of good, instead of getting all these ice creams and stuff like that, start stocking up on cans. Start getting the essentials of the food now. That way, if times of crisis happens, you're good. Now, does that mean that the times of crisis is going to happen again? No, but it's better to be prepared and sorry than sorry. And I know most people would say, oh, but you're probably being pessimistic. It's not about being pessimistic. It's about understanding that when you were at the bottom echelon of life, what is more guaranteed to happen if you barely have any money? The government shutdown actually happening, or your EBT balance appearing on your card? Well, obviously, the more guaranteed route is you having no food, no water, no clothes, and stuff like that. So why not prepare now instead of hoping that the government assistance is going to save you? No, that's a bad mindset to have. Because what if it doesn't save you? What if you have children to feed? Yeah, they were coins. I figured like how to deal with that successfully. You have to prepare. You have to prepare now. That's how you're gonna deal with it. You have to prepare. It might have just been one big currency that they used around the whole world. Sausage said, "Are you worried about food going up or things going up in general? Like how long will it continue to rise? Like eggs will be $40, bro. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I don't know how long inflation is going to keep on rising. If I'm not mistaken, I think it's rising every single year by 1 to 3%. However, we have to increase our income. That's the only way we're going to battle with inflation and compete with it. Because if you don't have much money, then bro, you're just not going to be able to even it out with inflation. Like inflation is here to stay. I'm not going to sit up here and cap and lie. Inflation is here to stay. Even if they make jobs pay $80 an hour, if prices get so bad, $80 an hour won't mean anything if the basics are like hundreds of dollars. No. And I get exactly what you're saying, Sausage. Yeah, I get exactly what you're saying. A kid who's making $80 an hour with no rent would say, wow, that's a lot of money. You know how when you're a kid, you see $1,000, $2,000, and you're saying, wow, that's a lot of money. That is dang near chump change when you're an adult. You have food to pay for, rent to pay for, utilities, bills. After all that, $80 an hour ain't nothing, especially if they're going to keep on increasing prices. So that's exactly what you're saying. So you just need to find a way to where you're making money, but you're not trading your time for it, because there's only so much time you have. You have 24 hours in a day. You don't even have the full 24 hours, because 8 of them hours you're already sleeping. By the time you take a shower and stuff, you probably already use an hour. Now you have to work. So the extra time you have is probably about 4 to 8 hours. And within that time, you need to be finding something to where you don't have to trade your time for money. Because if you're working per hour, well, then you're capped. The rich don't work by per hour. They work by their systems. Yo, that's crazy. Remember your $1,000 Toys R Us spree? I remember from Thursday, LOL. Nah, for real, bro. And Venom knows too. So I was explaining. I'll tell you about the Toys R Us spree. I remember my grandma had took me to Toys R Us. Bro, rip the Toys R Us. What happened to Toys R Us? Bro, Toys R Us was one of the best toy stores. But I remember, bro, my grandma just said, get whatever you want. In my head, I'm like, you ain't got to tell me twice. I was getting all types of toys. I was getting Beyblades, Bakugan. I was getting Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle toys. I was getting all type of stuff. Now I saw the receipt. Everything came out to $1,000. I'm like, dang. I'm thinking my grandma's rich. Like $1,000. Woo. But I was only in third grade at the time, so I'm over here thinking, wow, bro, that's a lot of money. I had a lot of toys to open up for Christmas, man. I'm telling you, bro. I ain't gonna lie about the grandparents be spoiling kids, man. Who I love Christmas, man. Love Christmas. Love the OGs. Love the OG stuff as well. Love the OG stuff, man. But yeah, going back to sausage's point. I mean, yeah, inflation is definitely here to stay. It is here to stay. And if you don't if you don't find a way to make more money, you're going to be stuck, because you are going to start living paycheck to paycheck. You're not going to have enough money, especially if you have kids. Because now you're not only are you focusing on you, now you have to focus on the kids as well. You have to focus on the kids. I think we all thought our grandmas were rich when there was a purchase over $5. Nah, for real, bro. We all thought it was rich. Like any money I saw that was over probably $50, I thought it was rich. And I'm like, bro, how are you getting all this stuff? It used to be a check for like what, $300, $500. But I used to think that stuff was rich. I used to think that was a lot of money. Not gonna lie. But when you're an adult, you start paying for food and stuff. Yeah, it's nothing, bro. Trust. You're like, when you're an adult, bro, you're definitely gonna need over, I would say, over $700. Over $700 for sure per month. Now the exact amount depends and it varies, but yeah. Yeah, guys. Pretty much it. Hey, Venom, you have any questions or not? Like about Jesus or anything? Actually, guys, you want to actually know what's crazy? Is that if you read Moses and people like that in the Bible, you'll actually realize like the structure that Ramesses had with his empire and the Prince of Egypt is basically what is going on now on Earth. That's why I like talking about this story the most, because that movie, and when I get my camera, we're gonna watch it on stream as well. I promise we're gonna watch so many Jesus clips and stuff, and I'm gonna start breaking it down to y'all. Just wait, because I'm gonna definitely save up for this setup. I got y'all, man. I need to hurry up and get a webcam and stuff so I can start showing y'all the videos, bro. I promise y'all. I know it's gonna take time, but I promise y'all I'm gonna save up for it, bro. So we can start dissecting these clips. I'm gonna start explaining these clips to y'all. You still thinking about the empty tomb? Okay. Yeah, how was God always there? You never understood that, bro. I mean, God was just always there, man. Like I don't even think there's like a explanation to it, to be honest. W, let me know when. All right, man, for sure, Venom. But yeah, God was just always there, man. You know, just always there. There really isn't nothing in the Bible that says like how God appeared. I don't even know, to be honest. Yeah, they told me that when you were like 9, you was like, what? Yeah, I don't even know. Nobody knows, to be honest. God was just here, man. They don't even show how he was here or anything like that, man. I don't even know. But yeah, guys, I mean, it's really crazy, because if we go back to Pharisees and stuff like that, and not the Pharisees, my bad, Ramesses. If we go back to Ramesses, we see that he has an empire, right? So he has an empire, and the slaves are working, right? And the thing is, they are working so hard and they're getting beaten. However, they will never make more money than Ramesses, and he ain't even working, bro. So while they're working their butts off, Ramesses is just walking around them like they don't even exist. Like, it's actually crazy. And the same thing can be correlated to real life now and how the rich and elite think. It's literally the same thing. And the thing is, his system, Ramesses' system from the Prince of Egypt, relies on the slaves. This is why when Moses came back and said, let his people go, Ramesses was like, nah, he ain't gonna let the people go, because if he lets the people go, then the empire doesn't exist, because his empire wasn't built on belief. It was belief on the backbones of everyone who was working for food and a crib. That's why you don't want to build your empire on a shaky ground like that. You want to be helping people, inspiring people, inspiring belief in people. That's a way better way to sustain a empire. The free game is going crazy, bro. It's fine, bro. All this can get clipped, man. Like, it's crazy. But yeah, bro. Like, his empire depended on people depending on him. Because the second they were free, or the second Moses actually did it, you see how quick Ramesses was to try to fight Moses? Exactly. But people don't assess, why was Ramesses so quick to fight Moses since his people wasn't there? Because what empire does he have without the slaves? There is no empire. They will no longer be rich. Their richness depended on them at the bottom. What's crazy is that, and what's so smart about God is God chose Moses. This is why God allowed Moses to get put in a basket and to go to Egypt. Because if that wouldn't have happened, then he would have been a slave, and then it would have been harder for him to do God's work and deeds. So God is very smart. Like, he knows what he's doing. We might not understand it, but he does. The free game is going crazy. Yup. But yeah. That's really very, very, very. It's a good book. I've watched the movie. It's actually a good movie as well. I recommend y'all watch The Prince of Egypt as well. It's a very, very good and inspiring movie. And you want to know one of the hardest things that Moses had to do? Do you read the Bible? As far as verses, yeah. I don't have a actual Bible, but I do read verses on my phone. What's your favorite movie? That's actually a good question. What is my favorite movie? Because I don't even watch movies like that, but I don't think I have a favorite movie, actually. I watch all kinds of movies. Like, this Christmas, I'm going to watch Home Alone. You know, why not? Watch some clips of Home Alone. How do you know which one is okay to read? Because other people get their hands on them and you don't trust it. How do you know which one is good to read? Okay, I would say pay attention to what is said in the Bible. Like, if it's saying some stuff that makes no sense. Now, this is what I mean by no sense. If they're saying to worship two gods, or you could worship multiple gods, that is not the right Bible. That is not the right Bible. You should read the Gospel of John and download the Bible on your phone. Yeah, I mean, I do have verses. Nah, actually, yeah. Actually, yeah, I could download the app. But I basically have the app because I get verses daily. Bro said to read, kid. All right, man. You love Home Alone and Holes? Yeah, Home Alone's actually good. All right, I'll download a Bible app after this. Actually, I actually download a Bible app to read some verses. You've never seen Home Alone? Home Alone's a good movie. Home Alone is a very, 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 very good movie. It's a good movie. Nah, it's a great movie, man. Home Alone literally is on TV every single year, bro. I know, bro. He must have been living under a rock, bro. Home Alone is a great movie. Now, I recommend you watch it, bro, this Christmas, man. Watch it, man. It's definitely good. Sup? What's good, Seraphim? Remember me? Yeah, I actually do remember you, Bella. Too techie. Yes, I remember. I remember. Woo! All right, chat. Probably talk to y'all for 10 more minutes. Then we're gonna end live. So if you guys have any other questions, man, let me know. So yeah, guys. Yo. What the heck is going on? Is there a stream tomorrow? Nah, not tomorrow. But on Monday, yeah. Chat, I actually see something. It says Krishan Rock warns Blueface that he's digging his own grave after being spotted getting comfortable with 45-year-old Hazel E. She slips up and says she'll do him just like she did Ronnie, who passed away after demanding a DNA test. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, Blueface. See, because it's like he has to keep on being brought up with Krishan Rock because he had a kid with her and stuff. It's like, oh my. Would have been fun if I made it 4 streams in 4 days. I might if I do go live tomorrow, it'll probably be a shorter live, so it might be 15 minutes. I will see. I'll see. I'll see. Oh yeah, wait. If you didn't hear me, it says Krishan Rock, which is Blueface's baby mom, said so she warns Blueface that basically he is trying to die because Blueface has been spotted with another girl and it's not Krishan Rock. However, Krishan Rock actually has another boyfriend who is a blood when Blueface is a Crip. Oh my, bro. Oh my. Oh my. Is she talking about Blueface? Is it that serious? Well, to her it must be. Oh my. To her it must be. Oh yeah. There's no need to die, bro. I know. They got Andrew Tate's training footage has surfaced online. Oh my. You know what's crazy? Who's Blueface? Oh, you don't know who Blueface is? He is a rapper. He's a rapper. But I'm guessing he blew up because his rapping was bad, bro. Ooh. Oh yeah, wait, no. It was actually funny because someone said, Blueface is bad at rapping now. You know, after he came out of jail, then someone was like, "You was never good in the first place," or something like that. You remember that comment? Yeah, that's exactly what I was talking about. He was like, "He was never good in the first place." Oh my man, now that was funny. I'm not gonna lie, that was funny. But yeah, guys, anything else y'all want to talk about before I end the stream? Anything else? Any questions? Any questions? I need to go eat lunch, man. I only ate breakfast. Well, there's no other questions, man. We're gonna go in and end stream right now. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe. Love y'all, man. Peace out. We'll see y'all either maybe tomorrow, maybe. It's not guaranteed, so don't take my word for it. But we will be live on Monday. Wait. Venom said what? What's your favorite movie? I don't even have a favorite movie because I like a lot of movies. But yeah, guys, peace out, man. Love y'all. All right, peace, Peter. Peace, Venom. All right.